Alright. Alright. So I'm going to show off maybe most of what I've recently found at thrift stores. If this is the first time you've looked at this, during the summer, I tend to go to a lot of thrift stores and garage sales because it's much easier to heat treat plushes during the summer, and there's also a lot less going on. I'll be fiddling with the camera a little bit too because it's not super ideal for setting. But I like to pick up plush toys. Sometimes I have to fix them up or do other stuff with them, repairs, cleaning, so forth, and sell them on eBay, Facebook, a few other things. It doesn't bring in a lot of extra cash. It's mostly for fun. And you can occasionally see like neat things that you find. Very, very rarely you'll find something rare, but most of the time it's just going to be old nostalgic toys or mildly interesting makeup bags, a few other things like that. There is also a cat in my room because I could not get her out. She ran in the window, and I don't want to fight that battle trying to get her out the window. So, good chance she will wander over here and let herself flop on this. That's what she was doing a second ago. I will also be bagging up a couple of these. So when I get them, I first put them in trash bags and let them heat so that anything that is on them dies. I haven't had any issues with that in a long time, but it's better to be safe than sorry. You generally put them in a black trash bag. You let them stay in the heat, which is why we do this in summer. And, oh, here's the kitty. Alright, kitty. Alright, you're getting evicted. So we do this in the summer because it's much easier to... Kitty, get out of here. Get out of here. Go. It's much easier to do that because otherwise you have to use a dryer. And for certain plushes that have vinyl on them, that can warp it. And especially the older that they are, like some plush toys from the 70s and 80s, the dryer will definitely give them some kind of warpage on their fabric because it's so old. So generally, I take them in a garbage bag, as I mentioned, put them outside. I use a thermometer inside to tell what temperature it is. And then when they're hot enough, I bring it inside and I immediately start washing everything. If I've got the room at the time, which usually I try and stagger them so that I've got room. If I get a couple of large toys, sometimes it takes a while. Most of these have had at least the initial cold wash, which is what you do. First, you don't wash them in hot water because that will set any stains, so I wash them in cold water, except for the last 3 days worth of stuff. All they have had is heat treatments. And these will not be in order. These will be in based off of what I've already photoed for eBay. And there's also going to be a lot of rustling, just warning you right now, because I've got these in bags. So you're going to hear me pull them out of bags and put them back in bags. Alright. So the first thing is going to be this really cute bear. He's from the world of Eric Carle. From what I've seen, This was sold almost exclusively online, through Woot and Kohl's in 2012. Similar ones on eBay are going for about 40-ish. And this one was pretty dirty when I got it. I managed to fix it up really well. It didn't seem to have, no issues with that. But I think it's only rare because it was sold online. So I won't list it that high. It's a very soft plush toy. Eric Carle is the guy who did The Very Hungry Caterpillar. If that name sounds familiar and you don't know what, he does a lot of other books, but I'm assuming The Very Hungry Caterpillar is probably his most famous. So this one has also been washed. This is a Thai classic, and it's very floppy, as all the Thai classics are. It is a kitty, and this was a very limited edition. And most Thais are not really actually limited edition. But these ones were only sold in a hospital and college gift shops. They never made it to the main places that Beanie Babies and other places went because they needed a little bit more shelf space. So this one is an actually rare one. If you're looking for actually rare ties, you want to look for the Thai classics or the attic treasures, as they tend to hold a decent value. So this guy with no tags and intact touch tag on eBay, he's got a couple listings for $60. I'm definitely not going to list him as that because I don't think he'd actually sell. But he's in really good condition. His tag's there. There's no tears. He wasn't stained at all. Didn't have any weird smells. I'm going to guess someone probably took the tag off, stuck him on a shelf, and, did nothing with him. So I guess that's nice for me. Yeah, but he's so floppy, man. It's hard to get him to sit up. They do have a little bit of beans in them, but they're only mostly for the weight. They're not quite like the Beanie Babies. So this is a pink fish. I think it's actually supposed to be like red fish from Redfish Bluefish, but it's very pink. It's from the Dr. Seuss movies. Don't think he's worth very much, but he was very cheap, so I got him. It also took quite a bit of time to get the price off of his eye because they wrote his price on his eye. Fortunately, they didn't write it right here. They wrote it right here. And it took quite a while to get it off. So that's another thing that you have to look for whenever you're buying plush toys, especially at thrift stores. They use this very waxy crayon. And this was fairly dirty, but it was easy to get off. It came off in the initial wash. It just had some dirt. Nothing major. He's even still got his hang tag attached. I think this was sold at Kohl's, is what the tag said. Okay. So, I've got a few things from an estate sale. And they're all kind of, most of them are kind of weird. This is a cow plushie named Buttermilk from Hidden Valley, who makes ranch dressing and a few other different things. They wanted 25 cents for it, so I couldn't say no. And I can't find anything similar on eBay or Mercari or anything. I can't imagine it's worth very much, but I do know it's fairly old. 2004, since it's Stephen Smith, who does a lot of plush toys for promotional companies. If your company wants to give out promotional things at a meeting or whatever, this is generally the company you go to because they have a variety of animals, and they usually stick clothing or embroidery on them. it's a nice cow. It actually sits up on its own, which is something I can't say about a lot of these plushes. But it was just so weird, I had to get it. I also got this Aurora horse. It's not very exciting, but it was cheap. At the same thing, it used to make noise. And occasionally, whenever pressing it, it will now make noise again. But sometimes it won't. I mean, this is from like, I think this is from 2008. So it's not surprising that the batteries are going. But it had an intact tag and everything else, so that was pretty nice of it. But the neatest thing I found at that were these cute vintage pencil huggers. And these guys are definitely meant to stay on a pin and not just be sitting here, so they are not going to have fun with this, but I'll put one on a pin. I know these were super popular in the 80s. Everyone I've shown that's slightly older than me instantly knew what they were for. I don't have a pin around here, but I have a chopstick. But this is what you'd put the writing in down here, and they are in pretty good condition for their age. They do have that old 80s style glue, which I think it's cyanoacrylic, which is super glue. It's that very common yellow glue that you see in all of these 70s and 80s things. But overall, yeah, they look like they're unused. They probably were just stuck on pins and then put on a display in their house. Very, very cute though. I will definitely be listing those. At that estate sale, I also found, so I'm local to the DFW area, and we've had a lot of different places come and go as time goes on. And for a couple bucks, I got this container of just craft crap. The most interesting though for me in the area, we had an old place that was called Fazio's, and this goes down maybe like mid 2000s. It's been gone quite a bit. And I found a pack of brushes that she obviously bought from them. And it just really, it was really nostalgic for me. I was a little bit young whenever they went away. But we had to actually drive by where one of the old Fazios was to get to that estate sale. And there's a few other things in here, but nothing super amazing. There's a couple things from MJ Designs, which was the name for Michael's down here. Very interesting topic if you ever want to look into that. Here we go. So it was Michael's up north and MJ Designs down south because of a disagreement on how the company should be ran. And of course it's not going to focus. But I'm sure anyone that happens to see this that lives in the DFW area or Texas would recognize that little label. Okay. So this was from another estate sale. This is a partial lamb finger puppet. The little legs have finger things. I looked this up on eBay. There were a couple on there, which is why I picked it up. I think they wanted $1 for it. They might have given it to me for cheaper. I don't remember. But you can kind of stick your fingers in there and move it around. I'm sure it actually looks nicer at an angle. It's not so awkward. It's overall pretty nice. It has only had an initial wash. It hasn't been stain treated. I don't see any stains on it. So there's been quite a few garage sales going on here, so I haven't been. There's only so much room that I can dry, so I try not to just dry them out in the garage or something like that, because they tend to take days and days because it's closed. So they get dried either in the front yard or hanging up in the bathroom. Next we've got this otter, which I think these are supposed to be ears. They kind of look like devil horns, but I think they're supposed to be ears with a scallop. And he's got the nice short plush fur. You see this type of fur on more adult collector plushes rather than children's plush. Whiskers are okay. I think someone who gets it would definitely want to like heat the little whiskers down. Or I mean, they're not bad. He's definitely meant for like an adult collector though. And a bunch of the toys I got from her are also meant for adult collectors, like this squirrel. This is from Plush Artist, I think. Plush Creations. And as far as I can tell, they were around, I think they went out of business somewhere around 2005, but they specialized in lifelike plush toys that were a little bit higher priced. And he also has the very short, luxurious type fur. I mean, a kid could play with it, but it's gonna be like get that loved feeling as the fur comes out. So it's definitely a plush you look at rather than a plush that you give to your grandkid. He is very nice with his detailing though. And as far as I could tell, he probably initially sold for like $20. So he's an expensive plush toy because that's $20 in 2000s money. I will probably list him for $20 in 2021 money. But if you like plush toys and you love squirrels, yeah, he's really nice. She also had this Aurora seal. Russ seal. Nothing super about him. He's more of a child's plush toy. It was cute and it was there, so I got it. Speaking of cute and small, there's a tiny little SeaWorld dolphin. He's very small. That's a terrible angle. Very small. 5-6 inches. He's on eBay for a couple bucks, but he was very cheap. And there was also this little Puffkin's moose keychain for cheap. He doesn't seem to have his little keychain anymore though. And I'm not sure what kind he would have. Maybe a ball chain or something. He'll go for a couple bucks. They were pretty reasonable on the small plush toys. I think the lamb and the otter were the most expensive, and the rest they just kind of gave me. Okay, so I had a whole bunch of plush toys that I had to do several times. The Eric Carl and the Thai Classic cat were part of it, but so was also this kind of hideous guy. He's the OU mascot. And his red bled like crazy when I washed him. So I had to apply a dye fixative because his whole hand turned red when he got wet. And although I think he'd be like a shelf sitter and no one's really gonna like love this guy so much that their child has to wash him constantly. Well, they can now because I added the fixative. I don't see the appeal. This is mildly terrifying. It's an Orbeez, which I don't know if it still exists. But you happen to be an OU fan, this guy's going on eBay. Maybe he's for you. So I got this at a garage sale a while back, and this is a very old plush toy. This is by Dawkin before they were merged into Aurora. They made all of their plush toys in Korea, so a lot of them have the same. If you ever see like plush toys that are made in the mid 70s to early 80s in Korea, they all have about the same facial structure and eye placements. And this is very classic of those. The problem with these is that they used a tannin-based dye, and I had to apply dye fixative to it because anytime it got wet, it also just bled brown all over the place. And they also initially glued the fabric before sewing it, and some of that glue has leached into its fabric. Of course, this is from mid 70s, so that's to be expected at this point. You know, it's almost 50 years old. But they didn't want much for it, and I didn't quite realize what I was getting into when I got it for a quarter. But some dye fixative, some washing, and a couple other things later, it's maybe it's someone's childhood. Oh, it also has this like woolen tail. It's like a weird type of early polyester wool. It's not very pleasant, but I know it definitely was a style back then. So this guy has one other one on eBay for $50, and he's pretty rare overall. He's from Applause, and the dates I could see on the other ones varied because the touch tag says 1978 copyright, but Applause hasn't been making plush toy that long. So this is either late 80s or early 90s is more like it. He's definitely a crane game plush or something to put in your car to hang down because he's got a little not very stretchy anymore loop. I'll probably list him about the same price as eBay. So the reason I think he's kind of old is because they also still used a fabric glue on here because they didn't quite have a proper rolling hem foot for industrial machines at that point. So you can see sort of where it's yellow here. That's basically because of how they made him, not because someone got him dirty. They would put on a little fixative glue to hold it down while sewing. Other than that, he's in great condition. He does not sit up very well, though. I think he's supposed to be hung in a car. I picked up a couple little goodies at a garage sale. I got a little watermelon-shaped purse, and I got this little dalmatian. He's pretty cute. and he's a surprisable. He's series 2, and as I mentioned in one of my other videos, series up to 4, I think, is before Toys R Us went out of business. And because of that, a lot of Toys R Us stores didn't get them. And the ones that did, like, went straight to either being destroyed or places like Ross. I don't know where the person bought this, but this was from late 2018. And I could only find one on eBay that sold in the last 6 months. I had to go through WorthPoint to find it. And it had a completed listing of $18. And I don't know if that's like it. WorthPoint is kind of garbage at times because they'll say what things go for and then it won't actually have gone for, but they just scraped it wrong. So I will probably try it for that, but I don't expect him to go that much, especially because I got him for cheap. He did have some makeup on him, and I did have to wash that off, so he won't go for super cheap because of that effort, but he's all clean now. This area used to be very, very colorful, and he's nice and clean now. Not plush toy related. I got this wallpaper border at a thrift store recently, and I love ocean type things, but this will not fit on my wall for texture, and I only realized it afterwards, so this is going to go on eBay. Or it will be reused for a display prop, I don't know yet. I also got this pretty cute bag. I don't remember if I showed this off last time or not. It was like $2. Can't beat it because this thing at Walmart when it was brand new was like $27. Some ridiculous price because it's just Clinique. I've been using it quite a bit just for toting stuff in and out. Might list it. Probably won't. Kind of fallen in love with it. Alright, so because I have so much stuff, I had to only bring in a little at a time, so I will be right back in a second, and I will be grabbing some more. Alright. So this is a little watermelon pouch I got. I'm pretty sure this just came off of Amazon. Probably someone bought it for their, like, niece, and they decided to dump it. And I also got this teeny Beanie Boo from McDonald's. He's earlier this year. He's not worth anything. Alright, so Tuesdays is our Goodwill's senior discount day. And also whenever they do plush clear out day, so I tend to go there. So all of these have like Goodwill tags on them. He is a Nanco Belly Buddy. He's very soft. And he's a Crane Game plush toy. Someone had to win him out of a machine and then just dumped him. He is soft, but he's definitely, you feel like he's a crane game plush, just like the kitty. I wouldn't be sad if I got him out of a machine, though. I also had turned down a few of them because they had extremely wonky eyes. This one has about the quality that you expect from crane game plush toys, but I've seen ones with eyes in absolutely the wrong places. And I always turn those down because I can't fix that. That's just impossible. His face is a little crooked here, but it's, if you had really wanted this thing from a crane game enough to keep dropping in $2 and $3 worth of tries, you would be happy to get it, in my opinion. Okay, so I have not washed this one because I ran out of room. This is a little dirty on the front. He is another one of the birds that make bird noises, or he did. His batteries are getting pretty old because he's from 2005. I could not get him to make noise. But I'm definitely going to wash it up, and I don't like this as much as the Kestrel, so I might sell it. Depends on how dirty it is. If it gets this little part right here dirty, if it's a little bit too hard to pull off, I'll probably keep it or give it to one of my friends who loves birds. This was a really nice find. This is a still with tag Wild Republic miniature Asian elephant plush. And the original price of it was like $11. I mean, overall not a bad find for $1 and some change. Looks like they just bought it maybe at the zoo, because I know these are sold at the Dallas and Fort Worth Zoo, and the kid aged up and they don't really need it anymore. Because this is, I think I looked it up and it was like from 2016 or so. It's still fairly common. Not too bad though. So this guy's been kicking around at the Goodwill for months. He is, again, he's another early 70s, mid 80s Korean made plush. So he's got that kind of eye layout and nose. And he was half off at the time, which is this yellow tag. So I got him for like 30 cents after all the discounts. You can kind of see his tag. It says made in Korea contents, all new materials, synthetic fibers, shredded clippings, distributed by household. And it's got a couple different things on there, but he's pretty old. He is well made. He's not damaged in any way. He is a little dirty because I have not washed this bag. Again, because I've actually been getting a lot of good finds, so the lesser ones I've just kind of put to the side. And we're going as time goes on. This bag is like second in line to be washed. I did wash the hamster though. The other neat thing that I found, well, neat as in I can resell it. I'm not super into, or like, I'm not really know very much about My Little Pony, but I knew who this was because this is the horse based off of Doctor Who. And this is how it comes. It doesn't come with the tie or anything else like that. I believe this is like for like the 3 and under plush version because it's only got vinylized. And the vinyl's not scratched at all, which is one of the things you have to look for. The vinyl on plush toys tends to get very, very scratched up very quick. So I'm going to guess someone just bought this. It was on a shelf. and that's it, because that's all it looks like. They took off the tag, and they just got a My Little Pony. So, as far as I can tell, this one's fairly limited as far as plush toys go. I think I saw it for about 22 on eBay without tags and like 30 with tags. That's probably what he will go. I'm going to give him a very gentle bath because of the vinyl. Which is another reason why you don't want to heat treat stuff in the dryer, because the dryer will absolutely wreck that type of vinyl. To clean those type, I generally take a toothbrush and a nail scrubbing kit and look for anything that's could be a stain on them and gently scrub it away, or fiercely scrub it away depending on what it is. So the area that the Goodwill is in, we tend to go to a lot because it's a very big little area. There's a couple of food places. There's a doctor's office. Just it's pretty populous. So we were at the Sonic right there, and our food was taking forever. And I moved the camera. Well, it took us like about 18-20 minutes to get our drinks in total. So about 5th minute, I was like, okay, I'm just going to run over to Goodwill because it's just a parking lot away. And I found this turtle with tag, Wild Republic. They had just set him out because I pulled this turtle and the next one out. And the guy was just like, I just put those on the shelf, huh? My mom loves turtles, so I tend to grab any turtles that I can, and our Goodwill is very reasonably priced on them. Some plushes are 80 cents, some are $1, and if you do discounts, you know, you can go in there with 20 bucks and end up with like 30 plush toys sometimes. And occasionally if I get dud plush toys, which I don't usually photo, I have a couple duds from a recent batch I'll show off, but those tend to go to the neighbor kids. They're still like 2 and 3. I think one's 3 and one's 4, and they appreciate any plush toys because they tend to dress them up or do whatever kids do with them. They wreck the shit out of those plush toys. This was the other one I got. It's a jackalope. I need to fix his bow. But he's another Aurora. And yeah, he looks like he was probably a gift for someone and they didn't appreciate it and just tossed him. So, besides retying his bow, I'm not going to wash either of them with tags because of the tag. And I'm going to guess that this is going to be like all the other maroon stuff that I've gotten where it just bleeds all over the place. So, I really don't want to deal with that if I don't have to. I dealt with that with a that Circus leopard plush I showed off last time. And that guy was a pain to get the dye fixative on. I don't want to deal with that again if I can avoid it. Not perfect. Good enough for now. It's very cute. I have too many plush toys. I've got like 2 rabbits already, so I really don't need any more. But someone will love him. Watch this thing sell like before the end of the year. It's always the weird stuff that sells first. Speaking of, I don't know if this is quite weird. I've got a Timmy Turner plush. And he looks like, as far as I could tell on eBay, this one is particularly rare. I got him at the same one as the Eric Carl. And they just wanted like 25 cents. I think you'd have to be a really big fan to want this. I just don't get the appeal of the big head. The felt teeth is a little bit kind of odd. I'll fix that up. And the little stub arms, no, there's no appeal. They also had this Beanie Baby. This is a limited edition to the Dallas convention. As I mentioned, I'm in the DFW area. Before they introduced the Beanie Boos, they introduced them at these shows. 2007 Summertime Fun. He's got a little thing that says 20 years of fun. And this color was exclusive to Dallas. So he's not worth anything. I think he's like $16 on eBay with tag. But it's fun to see just that level of, wow, someone, picked this up and it sat on a shelf for that long. Especially because it's local. They might have actually played with it a little bit because the tag is faded. But also the tags in this era tend to fade if they got anything on them. Such as like stickers. There was also a Sly the Fox Beanie Baby that I rescued for the same thing because I gave her like 25 cents for each of them. I don't know where he went. He might still be drying, but he was absolutely filthy. He was covered in blue highlighter. He's a brown and white fox. His belly was covered in blue highlighter. He had a little bit of makeup on him. And it took me a while to fix that. Oh, I got him. He's in the bottom of this bag. There we go. Okay. So all this area was covered in blue highlighter. Just someone's 2-year-old found a blue highlighter. This was covered in a brown concealer. His ears were covered in a pink highlighter. And his back had a couple weird green stains. I'm guessing from a green highlighter as well. And you can't tell that he's got any of that now. I used a couple different techniques to get it off. He's not worth anything, but I felt so bad for how terrible it was that I fixed it up, and this will go to the neighbor's kids next time I need to give them something. Or he'll sit on my shelf, which is probably the most likely scenario. He could be, I think I took a few pictures before and after. I'd have to check. Okay, so this Tuesday, because those ones were purchased like 2 weeks ago, we went to Goodwill and we found this. As again, my mom loves turtles, so you're going to see a lot of turtles. It's a Tie Buddy. It's very soft. We had several of these when I was younger. They all gotten rid of several years ago, so we're getting a few of them back as time goes on. He is going to be for my mom, though. She's got a very growing turtle collection. This guy was on sale. He's been sitting there for like 2 or 3 months. And I didn't pick him up because of that. Right there you can see his lip. I can fix this, but I was just being kind of lazy and didn't want to buy him. But for 35 cents is basically what he cost. Yeah, I'll fix him up. And if I could give him away to the kids and not feel bad if they destroy him. He's a wish pet. They were kind of a big thing, but they faded out really, really quickly. They were basically marketed as something that you could get when you couldn't get the Beanie Buddies. His name is Lotus, I think. I did see some other ones on eBay, but I don't know if this is anyone's childhood frog. I just realized that he was too close to the camera. He's not bad. He's got pretty good construction. He's very soft. The pattern on him looks sort of like a weird leopard, like a knockoff version of a leopard pattern. Decent eyes. You know, pretty good. Not the best. I think definitely the Thai plush is a little bit nicer. Same day at Goodwill, I found these giant microbes. And I'm sure anyone who was very active on the internet in the early 2000s remembers these guys. Because every site, like Think Geek, Woot, gosh, what's it? That one with the brain icon that I couldn't remember. All the ones that Amazon bought up. They all had these guys, and there was always a rush to get them because they'd run out. I think they're much more common now because I think these guys are still sold. But at the price that I got them at, not too bad. So they did come to me with a couple issues on their eyes because these are the original ones and they had very thin acrylic eyes. So this one in particular, this eye right here, or maybe it's this one, I can't tell now, had a very big like star pattern on it because it's been knocked around as the early and cheap eyes used to be. I don't know. In the early 2000s, there was a very cheap eye, because I remember buying them by accident for a plush toy that would just, if you put any pressure on it, it would crack. So to fix that, you get a compound that's called Polywatch for plastic. Get the for plastic one, not the glass one. It is a abrasive compound that basically will sand down and re-glue most type of plastics. You do have to put a decent amount of pressure on it. You can't just gently do it. You gotta really put your thumb into it. And I've used this on Tamagotchis, my old Pokemon Go Plus, anything else that gets scratched and has a non-ABS plastic, basically. You know, some sort of clear acrylic on it. They give you a little microfiber towel, and mine's kind of dirty, so sorry. But this is about how hard you have to scrub. This is a black ink that accidentally was on something. Sorry, I had to sneeze. And you have to scrub pretty hard to get it to fill in. But once you get that groove on, you're pretty good. This is the part from the other guys right there. If you got big issues on something, they used to give you a Dremel bit. I've never had to use these, but this is just a general cloth Dremel bit. And someone has decided to mow. So hopefully it's not too loud. Alright, I'm gonna box some of these stuff up while you stare at the microbes. And then I will go and get a couple more. I bought a couple new boxes to put things in because I've ran out. This year we've gotten quite a few plush toys. Most years don't get quite this many. But I'm guessing because of COVID, people are more likely to just toss out things. I'll leave them there for a second, actually. Did I do this bag already? Yes, okay. Be right back. Alrighty. So let's grab these guys. So, I also have a couple other plush toys that I have had to do a little repair on. I went to a garage sale and I picked out a couple Care Bears. I did not pick out this one, but the lady gave it to me anyways. She gave me the rest of the Care Bears. He has some nail polish on his hands and he had some on his feet as well. The feet, however, have been fixed. These I have not yet done since it takes a while. I had to wait for him to dry to try the second ones. So, if you have a plush toy that has a very soft, low loft fur and it gets nail polish on it, you're going to need an acetone based nail polish remover. You want one that has acetone as the very first ingredient. You're going to have to soak the little arm till about right here in the acetone. Not pure acetone. That's just a little bit hard to get, so fingernail polish remover is perfectly fine. And then you're going to have to scrub them. This took 3 sessions of scrubbing to get out. And this is probably going to take another 3. I'll do both hands at once because there's only so much you can do at once without wrecking the fabric. I don't think this goes for very much on eBay, but it can be, you know, if it's not going for as much, it goes to the kids. The eyes are in pretty good condition, except for this eye. He's a little messed up. And his heart on the back is completely gone. So this was a very loved Care Bear. I don't remember its name. This is the bear that I originally picked out. His nose is very messed up. Let me pull it into the camera. Now you can't really see it. It just looks like perhaps a child nibbled on it. This is another thing you can do with Polywatch. This probably is an ABS type plastic, so you have to be a little bit more careful. But you can just sort of smooth it out with the Polywatch. I have not yet tested this, but there was a little corrosion in here. Nothing that was super bad. He's most likely very fixable. A working one on eBay goes for about $30, $32. He was a little bit dirty. He had some chocolate milk up here. I still have to fix the nose a little bit. Probably do a little sewing here. He'd be a nice display. I wouldn't give him to a kid because I think he's not in super good condition. These were from the early 2000s, so he's not, he's almost 20 years old. But he's not the type of old that his fabric's going to disintegrate yet. 2003. I'm not sure what color he's coming out on the screen, but he's a lavender color with a little sunflower. I have no idea the name. That's one of the ones I picked out. I think I also picked out this one, which I think is named Lockhart because he's got a heart that's in the shape of a lock, and I vaguely remember one of the Care Bears movies, so that's going to be his name. This is from the mid-2000s, late 2000s. A little bit newer than that one over there. But she only wanted a quarter for each, so, take. A couple of the Care Bears have fallen a little bit more down, so we'll get them as we pull stuff out. This, however, was pretty cool. This is at a different garage sale. We're going to pull back. This is a dog with a cyber print. He's only had a cold water bath, and he took like 4 or 5 days to completely dry. He wasn't dirty at all. I'm going to guess that he was just bought. He's Fiesta brand, so he's sold in a bunch of Mexican type grocery stores here. Occasionally you see him at other things, but mostly they stay to the Fiesta grocery stores, and I don't remember the other one. Generally has like impulse buys, but he's pretty cool. Look at his circuit board pattern. I don't know exactly what he would be doing, but yeah, I got him. I think they wanted $1, so I mean, obviously I'm gonna try him for $1. Occasionally you'll also see this brand as Crane Game plush toys. Usually they're the ones that are like $5 or $10 for a try. Or you will have to win an item, and then you go to the counter and pick out a toy instead. Because I've seen these hanging up. Well, not this kind, but I've seen this dog hanging up at a couple of like Golden Corral or those other ones that have like a plush toy thing in the front of them. Not sure if they're super common where y'all are. This was a pretty neat dragon. He feels like he's pre-loved, but I think that's just his fabric. So this came from a place that was called the Bear Factory. They're kind of like Build-A-Bear before Build-A-Bear, where you could go and get plush toys with Velcro on the back, or the generic hook and loop clasp, as you're forced to call it on eBay and other places, because Velcro is a registered trademark, TM. And you could put like voice boxes in them, just like Build-A-Bear. Or they have little pouches for ashes or things like that. So basically Build-A-Bear before Build-A-Bear was a thing. This was someone's childhood, most likely. He was a little bit dirty, but he's in overall good condition now. I'm going to bet he'll sell on eBay because he was someone's childhood and they've been looking for this thing forever. That's just how some of these weird things go. I picked this up at a garage sale. I think it was different than the others. He does not want to sit up. There we go. I have a friend that loves lions, and they only wanted a quarter. I'm thinking I'm actually probably gonna give this to. I have a friend who's gonna have a kid pretty soon, and I believe they're gonna be named Leon. So of course they're gonna get a lion. That's just how things are gonna go. I'm pretty much sure I'm gonna do that because I don't think this guy's worth anything. He's pretty soft for a baby toy. He's definitely meant for a baby. I looked him up. Midwood brands. It says ages 3 and up, but you just cut off the tag and there's no parts on it. Alright, we've got a couple more Care Bears down here. Because, as I mentioned, she just gave me every Care Bear she had. This has got a heart and a star on it. Not much to say. This one needs a little bit more stain washing because he's only been hand washed. His tail looks a little dirty. Very loved. So this next one is from I believe they did these in about 2010 because of the eyes. He's got some happy flowers on him. I'm gonna guess they collected them for a while. This one is definitely not nearly as loved as the others, so I'm gonna guess that it's older. And it's also got the new style eyebrow printed on it. And these are also not. These are resin based instead of painted on an acrylic, unlike the others. Overall, in much better condition than the other Care Bear. This is another one with the new eyes. It has the disgusting kind of shaggy fur. I know people really like that, but I cannot. I would not want this as a plush toy. But again, for free, I'm not going to say no. It's also much newer because of the eyes. You can see the resin type eye. But his tag is a little bit. I'm not sure how to get the stain out of this. It's got a couple brown stains. Nothing major. I'm sure I'll figure it out. If worse, if nothing else, I could always scrub it, and that usually gets some of the black ink off. This one was also pretty loved. He's got some nail polish on it, but I will get that off, especially because it's at a very large area. Not much to say about this one either. Has the mid 2000s tag though. I also got a shirt from them. It was just kind of like I needed to not force this poor person to give me change, so I just tossed in a t-shirt. I think it's like Star Wars themed. I couldn't tell. I'm not into Star Wars, but it was there. I'll surprise someone with it for sure. And I know I have one more bag, and I think those might be washing. But I'm going to do the bag that we got yesterday. We accidentally went too far on our normal route, so we went to the part of town that has the more expensive thrift stores. And some of their stuff there is way too high. Like when you go to a thrift store, you want to pick up like clothes for, I don't know, $2 or $3 a t-shirt. And you want them fairly clean. You can get away with like buying them at Goodwill because most of the time they're washed. You know, they might want $5 or $6 for a t-shirt. That's basically Walmart prices, so if you really wanted a t-shirt, okay. But these thrift stores wanted $8 for a t-shirt. And they often were not washed. And, no. But what they did is they bundle all the plush toys into a little bundle and sell them for pretty cheap. So I picked one out without the bundle. And I don't know if you would call this a plush toy, since it's basically a pillow, but it's Dylan's candy bar. And I saw some online. This seems to be retired because the last thing I could find on Internet Archives was 2016. It's a pretty cute pillow, though. I'm definitely going to list it and someone will buy it. I don't have any room for another small pillow like that, or I would keep it because it's definitely my aesthetic. And I did want $2 for it, and there was no discount on that. Only the overall discount. But what they had that was really good was a large Sterilite container, which are those plastic things, that was a little bit bigger than this area. Like, probably about this much space, probably not quite as deep, of plushes. And a lot of them are crap. Like, dollar store plush toys. This guy. Yeah, this is from Greenbrier International, which is Dollar Tree and Family Dollar. So crap. I'm not even sure what this is, but it can't be worth anything. So children will destroy it. This is another Greenbrier International. He's not a bad frog. He's actually got pretty good details on him. His eyes are a little bit wonky. I might surprise someone next Valentine's Day with that, and they might like him for like 5 seconds. So this guy is an adorable manta, and this is what we got the thing for. My mom had to have it. And he's also a fiesta. I might give this to my friend that likes mantas. Got a cute little face. It's a happy ravioli. It's incredibly soft. Like, it's... I'm trying to think of how to describe it. It's like that fabric that Squishmallows uses. Very, very soft. I don't know how his little facial bridle is supposed to go because it's very weird. I have no idea about this. This has no tags and all it does is say Egypt on it. There's absolutely no hang tag or touch tag and does not look like there was ever a hang tag or touch tag. And there's like, this is where it was sewn up, but doesn't look like that. I couldn't tell you a single thing about this. This will definitely go on eBay as an oddity. I don't know. It's pretty detailed though. It's a poop. I haven't looked it up. It's probably gonna go to the children to be destroyed. I don't know what this means. This is another cheap plush toy, probably Walgreens or something. Not interesting. This is interesting because someone made it a cute little collar. They put some pipe cleaner together with some beads and they took a luggage tag and wrote call 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. The other one says heart and it has a little heart picture. I'll definitely photo this just for memories on Facebook, and yeah, this feels more like a dog plush toy to like give to your dog to mess up. So this is an Ohio State Hello Kitty. I have no idea why she's a Hello Kitty and a Ohio State, but there you go. I'm not gonna wash this because I know that this fabric is red and it's gonna bleed, and she's already pink. I will wash the white part up here at the top because it is a little dirty, probably just from the thrift store. This is a Florida gator, and it's called a camo cutie. I don't know if I'm gonna list it. Maybe, maybe not. I'll take a look at it. It doesn't seem to be dirty, except for this part right here. So it'll get a full bath. Again, this bag is the one that we got yesterday, and it was just because we accidentally went that way. So these have only been heat treated. So this is a nice one from Wildlife Artist. They tend to do more anatomical, like realistic proportion animals. Have not checked it out. TY Beanie Boo. Tie Beanie Boo. This has got the hideous large eyes instead of the reasonably sized ones from the earlier ones. Do not like. I'm sure someone would love it. Shopkins shoe. I know nothing of Shopkins. It's called Sneaky Wedge. It's a shoe. I don't know. This one, even though it has the large, terrifying eyes, isn't as bad because it's pink on black. It actually has a nice tag, so I might try and sell it. It does not want to sit up. Some kind of hideous pineapple. Should just... I'm gonna sneak this inside a local place whenever I go there. I'm just gonna casually, like, give this to them and then walk out with no explanation because I know someone who would love this. It's a horse with a Wells Fargo vest. It's a pretty nice horse. I guess. It stands up, which is better than most of these things. You'd have to cut the vest off, though. But if you like horses, and you work at Wells Fargo, I don't know. I don't know if anyone would actually want that. So this is a tiny sequin pillow. Flips to gold. And on the back it says Iris. This is not going on eBay. This is going to be a surprise for whenever someone in the future named Iris buys something from me. They're just going to get this stuck in there and they're going to just be weirded out. I'm that kind of weirdo. I can't even apologize for it. This is not a plush toy. This is a baby shoe from Southwest Airlines. Just one. Only one. The shoe. I don't know. That's going in the trash after this. This is a pretty filthy little tiny lamb. Haven't looked it up. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that it's also probably gonna go in the trash. So I have two of these plush toys from Jellycat. And all the Jellycat plush toys do not ever want to stand up. Oh, and the bag just ripped. Alright, so we gotta grab all these. Maybe. Okay, I'm just gonna hold you. These are both Jellycat, which are plush toys marketed at like 3 to 5 year olds. And they have beans in the bottom of them to try and give them weight, but I usually don't pick these up because of that. They tend to be filthy. These are actually pretty clean. I don't see any issue with them. But I don't tend to pick up Jellycat because of that. But hey, it was in a box for $4. It's a Bear Cub Beanie Boo. Probably not worth anything. I'll probably put it with the baby one. These are two... Well, this is one Beanie Baby, bride and groom. And someone had put tape on their tags. Perhaps a store, perhaps someone trying to protect it. They put on scotch tape, and these got the tape pulled off some of the red ink. As I mentioned, that's a very big issue with that era of plush toys from Ty. This is a petting zoo blue teddy. He's another cheap one. I think these are sold in like Walgreens and CVS. It says my first teddy. Maybe whenever I just have nothing else to list, because there will reach a point where I'm not buying any more plush toys. So this is probably when I'll put all of the strange and weird plush toys out. And the last thing in this box is this penguin head. That looks really weird, but yeah. Side note is I found another one of these at a Goodwill, and it made terrifying electronic screams of the damned because its battery had either corroded or been dropped. These are not, once this battery is gone, it's gone. And that one I really wanted to record, but there was a crying baby right next to me. And yeah, I figured you'd get more crying than you would electronic screams of the damned. So let me find another bag to put these in because that one ripped. But for $4, all those, yeah, there's some interesting stuff. But yeah, their t-shirts were too high. Did you hear its noise, Alia? Sorry for the shaky camera. Hopefully that showed up, but it just sang. Oh, Alia, look at this terrifying thing. Yeah, so I got a local place, and there's a guy who loves pineapples and loves things that are terrible and gaudy. And I'm just going to go in there one time, drop that off, and leave without saying a word. Just direct eye contact and make sure he sees me put it there and just leave. Oh, Holly, you also missed the shoe. And then the plush toy shoe. Wish that bag had not broken because that could have fit so much other things. Okay, and I know I have at least one more bag of things. If not two. So we went to a different Goodwill, and they had a few things on sale. But they have different sales than my regular one, so no amazing deals except for one. I'm sure you remember the llama craze. So this is, I think it's Fiesta, but it's actually one that was sold outside of just the Fiesta stores. Because I've seen this on eBay from other places besides the Southwest. And he's not a bad llama. Normally I'm not into the llamas, but I like his teal little motif going on and his teal little feet. I'd rank him like a 7 out of 10. So I got this Webkinz Junior kitty. I don't know if his tag has ever been used, and I cannot test it because I'm not gonna go and bother with Webkinz. And I can't imagine anyone wants a junior cat. But he was a decent price. And he's not dirty. So that's always nice. Now there were 2 plush toys that they wanted an additional amount for. I got a Webkinz dragon. And his neck is pretty floppy. But as far as I can tell, that's pretty normal. She gave it to me for just $1. This tag is from the big Goodwill in Dallas, where they just shipped it out to the smaller Goodwills afterwards. His neck is a little bit wonky. I'm going to resew his head right there. I might stuff him a little bit more. This looks like he's got some factory damage. This doesn't look like a person did it. And he's got a little thing off to cut off of him called Dependable Dawnium. His tag is a little loved. His Gans tag is not bad, but the material tag is a little bit bad. I picked him up because a good condition one on eBay with no tag was $34. And one with tag in mint condition is like something ridiculous, like $60. So I figured I'd fix him up, give him a good bath, fix his neck, and list him for about $20, and he'll probably sell. Or there's a couple people who will probably watch this later. I know one of them used to have this dragon, and if they see this and they really want it, they know they can talk to me and get it for basically what I paid. And they also wanted $2 for this, and this is absolutely bizarre. This is a sea turtle, because you see its arms, with like an Aztec, New Mexico type of Native American print. Absolutely bizarre. There's no touch tag, no spot where a touch tag would be. No idea what these two are related, because as far as I can tell, sea turtles are not in New Mexican like folklore, because they're sea turtles. I found plenty of regular tortoises, no tag at all. And I couldn't find where a tag was even punched through him. But I saw him and I knew my mom needed him immediately, so we haven't decided if we're going to hang him up or what we're going to do, but just absolutely bizarre. The other thing we got at that shopping trip, not a plush toy, but kind of interesting. Mom's been looking for a new purse for a while, and if she doesn't use it, I'm going to use it, because sometimes she's fickle and changes her mind. This was $7. It's a Vera Bradley purse. It's the same kind as that laptop one I showed off last stream. It is a little dirty, and the corners here are a little messed up, so I will put on some iron-on interface to sturdy them up and do a little sewing. Inside is a little dirty. I'm going to replace the cardboard in it. But for $7 when this was originally $65, and it's still a very nice purse. The zippers all work. The snaps work. Yeah, the Goodwills that are near me tend to price anything Vera Bradley at least $15 and up. And indeed, the Goodwill near me had a similar one like this for $20, and it had a lot more damage. So getting this for $7 was pretty nice. I would not resell one in this quality, but for using it, oh yeah, it's pretty nice. For me to resell something, it's got to be in like really good shape. Like that laptop bag and other one, those were in very, very good shape, only a little bit of damage. This one is a little bit, to the point where, yeah, I could list it, but at the price to list it and shipping would not be worth my time. Okay. So that might be it, but I'm going to go and check one more place because I know I have one more bag of things. I will go ahead and just leave this purse on display. And there's a cat who's been sticking their paw underneath the door, so I'm very sorry if they run in here and jump right in the spot, as they love this cardboard. But I will be back in a couple minutes. I'm also going to go get some more water because I'm out. Okay, so that does seem to be everything that I've gotten recently. However, I did have a couple eBay sales that I needed to pack up anyways. And normally I just pack them up in the garage because I have a desk out there. But I'm a little out of breath because I had to chase the dog. She ran out in the garage. I went ahead and pulled out the 2 boxes I had sales in. And I won't show the plushes that I've already sold. So these will be ones that I've already checked, washed, done everything to, and they're already on eBay. So here's a very sad lion. Very, very sad lion. I think I listed him for 20. It just looks like the Eeyore of lion. He's just not having it, man. This is what the children say, mood. He is very clean though. And he's from a decent brand called Lou Rankin Friends. I think I listed him for like 20 or 30, and I was the cheapest whenever I last saw. I haven't done a price comparison in a couple days because I've been busy getting ready for Pokemon Go Fest. So this guy has a terrible red ribbon on him, and this bled like crazy, and it still has a little bit of bleed on there. He's from the Circus Casino in Las Vegas. I think they also have one in Reno, Nevada. His tag had writing on it, and this is what happens whenever you try and get the writing off of a tag that is very cheaply made. These are basically the same type of printing as like a receipt, but slightly better. So this has been the best find I've found. Gotta pull back for this. So this is a fox by a company called RBI, and they sold in places like FA Schwartz and other places. This guy likely retailed for almost $100. And I'm not going to say that he's like super good quality. His eyes are in slightly different places. I mean, that's, normal variants for toys. I don't know why he was sold for almost $100, besides that it was the brand. I got him for like $1 at a thrift store. So, someone's grandma is very sad that they spent all that money and he got donated. The fur, though, is really nice. It is the type of fur that does not shed. The stitching, I don't think I found anything weird about the stitching. The eyes were the breaking point. As far as plush toys go, I do not think it's worth $100. I think you could get much nicer for $100. But I listed it at the same thing someone else had. So this is another Thai classic. This has several watchers on it. There's a very popular parent and child duo, and the child has autism on YouTube. and they love this dog. It's a Thai classic, Patches, and so he actually goes for a decent amount of money because the kids see it and they want it, and he's retired. I do not remember who or what it is. I remember seeing a video from my friend about plush toys. He has been washed, deodorized, sanitized. I really took a lot of care on this one. He's got maybe 30 watchers or something. I think I've listed like 30. So there was a lot of Beanie Baby competitors. This is Zangean, and this deer has a really weird long neck, which, I mean, deers sort of do. They also had these were the, Mama can't afford us Beanie Babies, but she can afford these $2.99 bean bags. And to be honest, some of them looked a lot better than early Beanie Babies, because they actually had, like, some of the early Beanie Babies were all solid colors, and the earliest of these all have stitched colors. I picked these two up for cheap, different places. I know some of you have seen this. Well, the people who are going to watch the VOD later. These Belly Buddies were super popular in crane machines, and I've sold a couple of them that still had tags back to crane operators because it was cheaper to buy from me with shipping than it was to buy it off the website. It's all clean, wasn't dirty. It's a cat. It's not bad for a crane game plush. It's not one that if I saw it on the shelf, I would buy, though. It took me a while to figure out it was a cat, though, because it looks like a hamster or a mouse. But the tail really settled it, and so I had to go search on the website for cats because they have hamsters. I got this one because it was just extra cute. It's supposed to be a piñata, and it's fruit punch scented. I've seen a few other ones of these. I think they were sold in, like, the Five Below Plus. You know how Dollar Tree has Dollar Tree Plus? Well, Five Below has Five Below Plus, where things are over $5. And I believe these were sold at them for like $7 or something. He smells like a artificial fruit punch. He's definitely supposed to be some sort of piñata. Still has his tag on. Pretty cute. He's got the same issue, though, is that he's got that sort of fabric that the one before him had, except longer. Not really a fan, but I'm sure someone who loved colorful things, he'd be perfect on a shelf. Couple smalls. These are part of the Aurora horse series, and there's like some ungodly number of horse colors. I think it's like 34. So finding individual horse colors that you want is a pain, and listing them is also a pain. I did this one as tan diamond. It has a couple watchers. So this thing, so just take a look at this fur right here if the thing wants to focus. It is soft, but this is not a plush toy that I would want to have myself. I had seen several that sold on eBay, so I went ahead and got it since it was like 80 cents or something. But it's sort of like a very soft wire hair, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of it. But I had seen some of them that actually sold on eBay, so I went ahead and grabbed it. Couple beanie boos that I got. Actually, I think that's the only one that's right in this one. He was pretty cute. I got these because we've been playing Ark recently, so I recognized this Carnotaurus, this Brachiosaurus, and this Stegosaurus. These are actually ones that were sold for like $8.99 a piece at Walmart. I think I paid $1 for all of them. Not too bad. As far as like plastic dinosaurs go, they're actually like a good heft. They stand up on their own. I guess, you know, I don't know. I would definitely say that if you liked them, certain ones would be better than others. They all seem to be hand painted. Like hand spray painted, not actually like a model. Oh, and the camera's definitely not focusing. Like they probably taped down that and then they sprayed the top with brown because each one that I found online was different. I think the Stego and this one came out much nicer. The Brachiosaurus looks kind of cheap. I think I listed all three of them on eBay for $20, including shipping. I'm sure someone will pick them up. So if you've been to Dollar General or one of the other Dollar General places, you've probably seen these guys that are not Beanie Babies, but are pretty cheap. I got this one really cheap. And apparently they have actual people that collect them. This is a, in quotation marks, rare variant of the elephant that they did a gem line of. I'm not sure if it's actually rare or whatever, but there's none of these on eBay. WorthPoint said one of them sold for $35, and I got it for like 50 cents. So it's listed on eBay for $15, including shipping. Maybe it will sell, maybe it won't. He's got wonky eyes. But he's in my free listing spot. This is a Charmander. He's pretty recent, I think 2019. He does make noise. He might even still be in stores. And I don't remember if I took his batteries out already. Let's find out. Okay. He does have user serviceable batteries, which is pretty rare in this day and age.
Charmander! Char!
Okay, let me do that again. There we go. He definitely works. He looks like they just took him out of his little box thing that he was put in, played with a couple times, and then Mom decided he made too much noise and stuck him in a closet and forgot about him. Unfortunately, this thing is heavy, so I had to list it at like $25 because it's going to cost me like nearly $11 or $12 to ship. So this is from Noah's Ark Workshop. They're a fairly small studio, and they tended to be at Kohl's, TJ Maxx, and a few other discount places, and they'd usually be way too high. They'd be higher than Walmart. And their gimmick was that they'd list this thing for like $29, and it would only be like $18 or something, so you'd think you'd get a good deal. This has a battery pouch, and I do not know what it is, like what it does, because I didn't attempt. I didn't list it for too much. But again, it is a large plush toy, so it does cost more to ship. You'd think that these would be like not too bad to ship, but after you put it in a box that you have to pay for, or if you're lucky you can get it from like a grocery store if you go there in the early mornings, then you go by weight. Some of these plush toys are fairly heavy. It's a very large giraffe. This is another one by Fiesta. I think I listed it at like $18, and I think it's going to cost me like $12 to ship, but she basically just gave it to me to get it out of there. I think I paid 50 cents. I might give it to one of the kids if it doesn't sell, because it's going to cost me at least $11 to ship. And it's massive. So this also has a bunch of watchers on eBay. And you might not know what this is. But this is from Clifford's Puppy Days. I think it was like early 2000s. I only vaguely recognized it. And this is apparently Zoe the cat, and it's pretty rare. A couple on Worth Point with tags sold for almost $100. This one is pretty loved. No tag. Still has touch tag. So I listed it for $40. Maybe. And my mom also just peeked in because we gotta go and get dinner pretty soon. But I'm almost at the end of this box, which is good because it's been about 2 hours. So I'm ready to get up and move around a little bit. I'll do like 2 more plush toys, pack this up, and then probably gonna go and get dinner. Actually, we're gonna do this Vera Bradley makeup case. Usually, like I said, all the Vera Bradley stuff is priced way too high. They had no idea what this was. I got it for 99 cents. I slapped it on eBay for $20, and it's got a couple watchers. Not bad. It's one of the outlet patterns, and this pattern is one of the ones that you can only get in the Dallas area. This actually probably came from the closest 2 outlets from me, which is probably like the Town East Mall or the other giant mall in Dallas, maybe North Park, because this is almost exclusively a Texas pattern called Blue Star Medallion. Maybe. Okay, and the final thing in this box, again, is not a plush toy, but it's going to be kind of interesting. And I can't decide if I want to keep this for me or not. I'll probably let it run on eBay a couple times. And it's just going to fall down on me. But it's a very nice canvas printed tote bag. I think I got it for just a couple bucks at one of the thrift stores that actually sells bags for a reasonable price. So this is called Hawaiian Accent, and they're actually made in Hawaii, from what I could tell. You usually get them at like one of the tourist shops on, I think there's on all 4 islands. I did a little research on it. A little bit interesting. Very nice pattern though, for sure. And I do have one more box of stuff that's listed on eBay, but I want to go and get dinner before it gets too late. So I'm going to go ahead and wind down. If you have a favorite plush toy, let me know. Or if you think of anything about them that I didn't say, that would be great. I've been on and off selling them for about 12 years on eBay. Last 2 years I hadn't sold any, but the years before that I was selling quite a few. I also tend to pick up like people's old collections of Pokemon toys and resell them. With Pokemania, that hasn't really happened. So it's rare when I find Pokemon toys right now. Haven't found any in like 2 weeks. Last ones I found was the ones at the other stream. I've got a bunch to wash. There's a bunch washing right now. It's been very humid, so it's been taking a while to actually get them ready. And the summer is, they tend to not sell super fast in the summer. I've sold maybe 6 or 7 this month. They tend to sell a lot in the spring and a lot in the winter because Christmas. Summer and fall, so I tend to buy them all during the summer, as I mentioned. Wash them, treat them, get them ready for that, and hopefully by this time next year all of these will be sold. Or if they haven't sold by then and they're not rare, they just get given to the neighbor kids. A bunch of these I've put into bags. Not going to show my terrible messy bed, but it's extremely messy right now with all of them. Those will be given next time I need to give them some small gift. I'm sure their mom appreciates me flooding their house with plush toys, but one of our neighbors also just had a kid. So once he starts getting to about 1.5 years, I'll start giving them toys because most of these cheap ones, I'd feel too bad that he would, like, I think the fur would come off, or they're not baby safe toys. I still can't believe I got this one Southwest shoe and they put it in the box. Alright then, I'm gonna actually go get water and then go get stuff to make dinner. And I'm thinking of buying an embroidery stand and a couple PVC pipes because I've been super into embroidery recently. I've recently got a bunch of cute supplies. This is a little seahorse I'd stenciled out. There you go. Stay. Maybe? There you go. Here we go. And then I did this one with sequins, and it does not like to show up on camera. It's much nicer in person. There's also a little bead right there for its eye. These sequins took much longer than you would expect. Because you think, oh yeah, you're doing stuff that's, you know, a decent size, it'll go fast. No. Because getting them to lay in all the correct direction is like half of the fight. So yeah, I'm thinking about buying a stand and a little rig and streaming me doing embroidery, because I tend to do embroidery while I'm playing balloons. Weird combo, I know, but balloons is not a game that requires all of my brain the way that I play it, because I just do easy stuff. Embroidery, I can set down a lot easier. Not sure I like the middle part of this turtle, so I've just kind of stopped on it. Anyways, I don't know what I'll stream next or when. Tomorrow is Pokemon Go Fest, so I'm going to be doing that. Maybe I will stream something whenever I get the stand, or maybe next week. Anyways, thanks for watching, and if you do know anything about any of these plush toys that I didn't mention, please let me know. I do have one more sack of plush toys that I do not know where they are. And there was a couple really nice ones, so I'll probably do a mini stream showing them off whenever I find them again. Anyways, talk to you later.